welcome along and welcome back to Spruce Mountain Farms. Today we are going to be getting the maize planted. We need to get that all in. It is the first planting day we can do it. We didn't have much in those 2 bags, but we do still have 2 more bags in here. But after that, we are going to have to pop down to the shop as well and grab some more seed bags because we are woefully short of seeds for the rest of this. Yeah, we've only got 1,451 liters left here. That'll be enough to refill this well, about 1.5 times, depending on how much more we need to put into our seeder at the moment, or our planter at the moment. So we'll get this onto here and find out. Get that emptied in. There we go. If we have about 1,000 liters left, we'll be good. We've got 882. So yeah, we've got enough to refill this. Let's start at this end and get all of these closed. And then we need to pop down to the shop, grab some more seed, I think, and get that sorted. So we'll start this off on course play and get this planting the maize, and then we will pop down to the shop, grab some more seed. I think we probably only need 4 bags. I don't think we're going to need much more than that for these fields. And then we'll be in a position to get the roller started. This should be far enough through the field at that point. I also need to check on what the status of our cotton is in general. It looks fairly good. We're not expecting any weeds because those fields have been ploughed, although those are definitely weeds. Guessing those are points in the field where it didn't get ploughed. We've also got a few stones kicking around. I think that, looking at it, is where the roller missed. So all in all, I think we're fairly well off on those. We shouldn't need to do that on either of those. Course, let's go and have a look at 5C. Same as always, 1 headland. And actually, we'll do 2 headlands because it's don't want to hit those trees or get too close to those trees. We want sharp turns in the corners, and let's generate a fieldwork course, starting at the top end, ending up back here. Absolutely perfect. Right, let's go get this started, and then we're gonna head down to the shop, grab some more seeds. Okay, so down at the shop, let's bring this round here and try and park it in a position that'll be easiest for us to load up. This being a dolly trailer, of course, is not that easy to do. Oh, see how quickly that just moves if you're not careful. Yeah, that's the trick with a dolly trailer, is to keep the movement small, and then they'll be easy to correct for. Right, into the shop. Let's pick this up, and nothing in the sales today at all that's of any use to us. If we had the big case spreader or something like that, it would be. But what we're after is in here, big bags. We want seeds. So we're going to go with this. Yep, just standard seeds, I think. Right, let's grab those. As I said, 4 bags of seeds, 3,200 in total. That should keep us going for now. We had a lot left over from last year, so we definitely over-purchased when we were purchasing seeds last season. I think 2 bags per field should be about enough, but we'll find out soon enough. We may have to... I'd rather buy fewer seeds than I need than too many. That way we know that we can always come and buy some more. More when I'm trying to predict stuff for purchasing seeds post winter and then looking to spend the money elsewhere. This year we're not looking to do that. We should have a good coverage, I think. And the only thing we're looking to really buy this year is to get that BGA built. we have the BGAs that we can do. Lift it up and on, like so. See, it does do it very nicely. This is such a stable front loader. This Kubota, really cool. One of the nicest bits from the Kubota DLC. I very much like this piece of kit. I only ever really use it for shops though. I've never had one of these on my own farm. Simply because if I'm going for a front loader, I tend to put one on a tractor because it's more useful. But this is, I have to say, this has been very useful on the shops I've had it. We had it on the Oldstream farm in the shop there as well. And it just did such a good job. So we'll park it back up here. Ready for next use. And we need to strap these down and get them back up to the farm. And see how our big John Deere tractor's doing. The answer to that seems to be pretty well. It's what, a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows into the field. It has missed a couple of bits, slightly worryingly. So we'll have to see if we can patch those up later. Looking at our cotton is doing very nicely at the moment. That is growing well. It's that and Field 8, of course, that we have with cotton this year. Field 6 here is what we're looking to get seeded as well, or planted as well, along with Field 5A. So we're going to get those two planted. And then looking up here, we've got a lot of grass, actually. We've got a decent amount of grass. So we could get that cut probably next month. I think we need to get all of the maize planted first and then look at getting both of our grass fields cut and possibly done into hay, because our hay bales are getting lower. The thing we're actually really low on is straw, so we're gonna have to wait until we get some contracts for that, I think. Where are we going to put this? Oh, we want to go and put this in the shed. So let's take this to the unloading area over here. And yeah, we can then get this into the shed and get it done. Quite a nice little section of road here that brings things nicely beside. And then we'll just park this here for now. And I think we'll have to get the roller out with the... That shouldn't be running. Get the roller out with the Claus, because this tractor wants to stay here for a bit. Now, because the roller has a tendency to catch up, I think we're going to run the roller ourselves today. We've got GPS on this tractor. It'll make it easy for us to do. And allow us to keep an eye on the seeder as well. And that way, when the seeder gets to the point where it is empty of seeds and needs refilling, we can very easily just hop out of this, go refill it, and then not worry about the roller catching up too easily with the seeder. So that should be fairly good. I want to turn on my GPS. Oh, it is on. Good. And yeah, our seeder is nicely ahead of us on the field here. So we bring this here, unfold our roller, and line things up. Right. What I'd ideally like to do, I think, is line it up with the edge of the field. That way, we can move in and have a good little bit of overlap with everything. And looking at that, yeah, a good little bit of overlap is going to be what's needed. Bring it round. And we're going straight across the field, so 90 degrees. Let's bring up our menu here and set A+ heading. The easiest way to do it. There we go. Lines on, set our width, check that everything is good. Yeah, I'm happy with all of that. Right, we can move on to the second line then and get things set up. onto here. Reverse up a little bit. And actually, that's a pretty good fit looking at this. 2 rows of our roller are pretty much 2 rows of the seeder as well. So this should fit in fairly well. With an automatic gearbox on this feels like it's under revving slightly. It's getting up there to sort of the 2000 revs at the moment. But yeah, so it's fine if I do it on the automatic like that, if I do it on cruise control. But I seem to struggle to get up to 2000 revs if I'm running with just myself, if I'm not using the cruise control. I'm also lifting the roller, which isn't the most realistic thing to lift it like this at the end of each row, but because we're using courseplay, I've not got the headlands to turn around on that I would possibly normally have. Well, in fact, no, normally you would leave the headland like this. What I don't have is the time to leave the field alone in order for it to be finished before I roller it. So we're all right. We're doing okay with it. But yeah, it's maybe not the most realistic thing to keep lifting the roller each end. You'd probably keep it rolling if you could. And our seeder needs to be refilled. So time to run it up to the farm quickly, get it refilled, and then we can get it going again. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, is the fact that we now know that the roller isn't gonna immediately catch up with our seeder, that we've got to go and refill. We can happily say things are running okay, and with 4 days to get all this planted, I'm not too worried about it. It's making sure that whatever we plant gets rolled by the end of the month, and that's why we need to keep everything as close as possible, because if we don't, then yeah, we're gonna find ourselves with a field or part of a field that isn't rolled in. Right, so I've got a little bit of fun here getting this into position. Can I bring it round? Yeah, I have to go on the grass a bit. I don't want to drive too much on the grass because it'll destroy the grass. So let's just back this up here, like so, and that should do it. Bring it forward, straighten things out a little bit before we hit the trailer, and there we go. Unlock all those. Those will get opened. And then we've got 800 litres in here, so that will very nicely go in there. And yeah, looking by it, it's about 2 bags per field, 2,000 litres per field. So we may or may not have enough here. In fact, no, we should have enough here, because this is the biggest of the 3 fields we have, and it is only going to take sort of 2 sets of 1,000 litres to do it. So let's grab these. Alright, so I do love this double bag lifter. It does make things very easy. Right, and then empty that out. That's got that. So turn that off. Close those up. All the way along. And done. All right, back to the field, and we'll get this going again. It is only 11:05. We are making really good progress on getting this maize seeded. Into position. We want nearest waypoint, and away it goes. Like that. We are good to go again. Right. Let's leave that doing there while we pop back over here, jump back in our Axion, and get back to the rolling and see if we can catch it up by the end of the field. Looking at the speed of these two going, I think it's kind of inevitable that this will catch up, especially as we are doing faster turnarounds at the end than the John Deere is. I mean, we just go straight round and do no extra positioning at all, whereas that is taking its time to turn. And then on top of that, we are immediately faster because we're doing 2 rows at a time instead of 1, and that is going fairly quick in its turnaround. I'm wondering, I'm just trying to have a look and see at the speed. Oh yeah, look at that. That John Deere definitely going faster than we are, but we are doing 2 rows at a time instead of the single one that the John Deere is doing. Look how far that John Deere has got away from us now. The amount of gap between us has definitely reduced because we are just doing this twice as fast as the seeder is. But it's a good half a length of the field ahead of us now itself. So it is going faster, and it is keeping ahead to a certain extent. And looking at it, it's probably only got 1, maybe 2 rows left before it starts doing the headlands. Now, we can't do the headlands until it's started on its second headland, because obviously we've got 2 widths worth on the seeder. So it's going to require us to do that and follow behind the second headland, not the first. That is still going strong though, and I'm very happy about that. I've been thinking about what we've got still to do money-wise on here. We have a very large amount of silage sitting around, and I'm kind of thinking that it would be in our best interest to get that sold. When is the best time to sell silage? I think 307. Okay, December, but we're going to have to harvest it before that. So we are currently sitting in April, so we're about half price. I think that it might be worth getting a big truck, as some have suggested, filling it up and selling. We can hire a truck to do that. That will work fairly well for us, and that will give us the opportunity then to make some extra money, maybe buy that BGA, and then by the time this year's silage harvest comes around, we'll have that in position and be ready, especially as we have 45,000 in the bank at the moment. So yeah, I think we're going to do that. I think we might get this all automated next time and just leave these going. We've got smaller fields next time as well, so I think the amount that the seeder will have to be refilled will be reduced, and we'll be able to keep better track of that. But if we get that silage sold now, before the mid-year price drop in it, we'll be much better off, and then we can expand the farm a little bit, do some upgrades that we need to do before May kicks in, and yeah, be ready for everything. There is, of course, now the Gawil pack has been released, there is an alternative. We could create silage bales from our corn on here, which might be fun to do and might be a good way to go. So we'll have a look at that as well. For now, though, I think I want to sell off the silage that I've got stored, and make some extra money and see how much extra money we can make. Now we get to see how well Courseplay handles the headlands here. It's coming up to, well, it's done the first headland down the side, but that was not the one I was worried about. It's these end headlands that I'm more worried about. I'm hoping that our seeder will get into position rather well and then be able to handle those. I need to be careful because it looks like I've got a little bit of overlap here. So position this. Yeah, we've got a little bit of overlap. I might wait. Oh, if I'm going to wait for that cedar to do this. Oh, it's missing so much. Yeah, we're going to have to come back and roll around the end of this field because we are going to have to follow up on what that cedar is doing. Wow, that is so much it's missing on the ends of this field. And we're coming up to the end. The cedar is coming up behind us. Yeah. But you can see the stuff it's already missed down here. And you can see that we are going to have at least some overlap in order to reach everything on here. So we might as well go through, get those small bits that are missed at the end there done, as well as the bits that it's also missing. But what I want to do now is get myself positioned on the end here. And yeah, we're going to have to go and roll over those bits that it's somehow failing abysmally to sort. I don't know if it just doesn't like that articulated tractor, but that is what is going on there. That is missing out a whole section on this corner. Seems to be less of a problem down this end. Looking at this, yeah, it hasn't missed as much on this end as it missed on the other. I mean, it has missed all of these bits, and I can live with little bits like that. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on otherwise. And I definitely set it to do sharp corners. So I just think it doesn't like the articulated tractor and backing things up with it, because that is making a serious mess. Yeah, it can't back it up. It's having big problems backing that up. Right, that's fine. What we'll do is we'll try and clean up afterwards. For now, I'm just going to roll in what we do have. And I have to remember that going forwards. Is that it doesn't do well in the corners, this articulated tractor on course play. Yeah, look at that. It just can't reverse it. That's the trouble. It can't reverse it properly and get stuck in the wrong place. And that means it ends up missing bits. I think if I'd done smooth corners, it would probably have handled it better. But yeah, it's definitely not handling that very well at all. And I think that this here is wider than our roller as well, despite the fact that it should only be 2 widths. Yeah, it is wider than our roller, but then it's wider than the cedar, 2 things with the cedar as well. So that's not overly surprising that there's a problem in this corner or along this edge. Don't quite know why it's done it that way though. It seems a bit mad. What I will be able to do is by leaving this here, I'll be able to come back, cover all of these bits here, and then we can roll across this headland just to finish things off. It is very, very weird that we've got this much gap at the end here when this is supposed to be only 2 headlands, and it's left that much. I can only figure it's lifting too early, but why it lifted too early at this end and not at the other, I don't know. And looks like it's got stuck with a tree on this corner. So stop you. Okay, see, it gets hung up on that. Trying to reverse it up there. But could be able to get it under control fairly easily. Like that. Back it into there. Nearest waypoint. And away you go. And yeah, that's much better. Happy with that. Just not happy with this headland. Definitely going to be a bit of clear up. And I think next time I might have to just set it so that it does smooth rather than doing the... do what it's doing there, which is just odd. Right. Set our GPS. It should do fine for the last section of this field. Down and away. This, the rolling's gone better than the seeding, I think. But then, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. Seeder has finished, or planter has finished, because that's a planter, not a seeder. And we're coming up to here. I say finished, we need to get it to, or we need to go and fix these bits now that are, well, just look awful. So let's clear that course off, start the engine up, and we've got a few patches that we're going to back up and go and handle. So down, turn that, turn on the seeder, and that, and I'm going to go across the headland here, see if we can't get all of this in. I think we can get all of this in. This is not ideal though, because again, realistically, you wouldn't go drive a tractor with giant wheels like this all over this freshly seeded crop, I don't think. Although I have had plenty of people tell me that lots of farmers do the headlands first and then seed the main body of the field, which would mean you would have tractors like this driving all over the freshly planted crop. Maybe not in this way, but I suppose no, they'd still be turning around on the headlands. So yeah, I don't know. I get very confused by that. Right, let's go across here, get these filled in. Right, and up. I'm snaking my way across here. This should just be a nice straight run. There we go. It's actually more than one width of this seeder. So it's not gonna be perfect at all. I'll go with 99% over 90% any day of the week. Right, that's got this end of the field done. So we'll turn off and we'll head up the road to the other end and cover the very large area that's left down here. I think this will take 2 runs across the field. I think we'll have to do both ways, simply because it missed so much at this end of the field compared to the other end. I mean, look at this. It's, yeah, that is 2 widths worth basically in order to cover all of this. So on and down and away we go. We'll get this headland filled in and then we'll run up here with the roller, get this all rolled in, and that will be this field finished. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll take this up to the farm, get it refilled, and get it started on field 5A, be it with a slightly different setup to our course play. 99% of the field planted. Get that last little spot. Turn this off. And round we go. And head over to... Well, actually, I need to take this back to the yard because this needs refilling. So again, we'll bring this round and back it up into position. Get it refilled. And field 5A is just here. So probably want to make an entrance to the field at this corner here. It just makes a lot of sense for it to be at that point. Right, and there. Yep. All of our pods have opened. In anticipation. Start it up. I think they'll actually, yeah, probably automatically close as well, which is good. Right, empty that out. Take 1,000 litres, leave us with about 800, or 928 to be exact. Right, and we can get this now out onto the field and get another field at least started today. It is 4:10, so I don't know how far we'll get into it. Set this course up. Field 5A. The only thing I'm going to change... Actually, I'm going to change a couple of things. One, I want it to go round the corners. It should be fine doing that. It's got more maneuverability, so that should be good. And then field center, spiral racetrack lands. I'm going to get it to do racetrack. Rows. And I'm going to go 2 rows per racetrack. Hopefully this will affect the racetrack. Let's generate that. And then we can have a quicker look. No, but I think that will work better. We can get this field out of the way then before it gets rolled, because it won't work so well for us following with the roller. But I think this might work better for the whole thing just sort of working. So let's go and get this started up, and we'll see how well this works in comparison to what we had before. It should give it more space to maneuver, and doing that, I think it will not miss quite so much at the ends. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, we've got some extra bits to roll, so let's bring that up to there. We'll then roll this patch in the corner and then go back. We'll get everything on this row here to roll, so that'll be fine. And then top end, yeah, top end we should be able to reach across everything as well. So it'll be it'll work out fairly well for us, I think. Bring this down and roll the end of here, and this will allow our seeder actually to get fairly far ahead as well. So it's all good. It'll all work out for the best, and we should end up with 2 fields today that are planted well, and one of them at least that is also rolled well too. Now, will this reach all the way across at this end? I really hope so. Come on, you can do it. Down and right, away we go. Not quite. Oh, it's such a tiny bit though. I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, that's normal for a little spot you might miss. 99% rolled, 99% seeded. This field is good enough. We will lose so little from that as to be negligible. However, the rest of it is nicely done and coming along well. And our seeder, I'm really intrigued to see how that's running and how that's working. Because, yeah, we have gone for a slightly different setup. I'm just going to drag this into this corner like so. And fold it. So it does look a little bit odd on the ground, but it works. Fold this up. And we can head back up to the farm and check out how that planter is doing. We are 3/5 of the way through our fields at this point, and we've got this one up here, which is just one more. How well is it doing it? Are we missing sections? Are we lining up better? It looks like we're lining up better, definitely. Yeah, that's much better. Nothing missed in between these rows. So racetrack seems to be a really good setup for this planter, and getting it to not miss spots between the rows. So we'll have to remember that for next time. But I'm going to go and put this away. We'll let the seeder go for a little bit longer. But I'm going to go and put our roller away for the day, which means that all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.